My name's Michael Cobiac. I'm a beef producer here in the southeast of South Australia. We've got about 600 hectares and a breeding herd of about 300 cattle. We made a commercial decision about 4 years ago to change to an Angus herd, and as a result I went out and purchased some pregnant cattle. When these cattle calved out and started to lactate, there were strong differences between the groups that I had purchased. They came from different sources, and without actually meaning to observe it, it was very obvious to me that some cattle maintained body condition while they were lactating when others lost a lot of body condition. This had a flow-on effect when the bulls were put out and they were rejoined. I had a lower conception rate in the low body condition cattle and a much higher conception rate in the higher body condition cattle. And the fact that they were run under the same management conditions indicated to me that there's probably a strong genetic link between the ability of animals to maintain body condition under lactation. At the same time as I was doing this, I was looking for best practice information, and I started to attend field days and seminars, and I went along to a More Beef from Pastures field day where they were presenting results from a maternal productivity project, which is a project run by the Beef CRC and funded by MLA. And this project showed that there was a strong link between the genetic ability of an animal to lay down fat and her subsequent fertility. And this is exactly what I'd been observing on my own property at that time. So it was a real light bulb moment for me, and it really gave me the knowledge that I needed to be able to manage my herd in order to improve my productivity. The first step was to separate the cattle into the mobs of those that were very good at holding their body condition, which I can call my fat mob, and those which tended to lose a lot of body condition during lactation, and I call them my skinny mob. So that way I was able to target the supplementary feeding to the cattle so that the skinny mob got more supplementary feed and were able to improve their body condition and therefore improve their fertility. And I noticed very quickly, within the first year that I started adopting the body condition score targets that are laid out in the More Beef from Pastures manual, that my conception rates went up enormously, probably 10% I would suppose. But I honestly believe that because of adopting these body condition score targets for mating and for calving and for rejoining, that has made an enormous difference in my productivity within 1 year. And this section here really highlights the minimum and maximum body condition scores to achieve the maximum number of calves born. So I find this probably just about the most important part of the manual for me. These cattle here are the replacement heifers. They're 15 months of age and have just been exposed to the bull for the first time. They will calve down at 2 years of age. In order for them to be successful breeders in the future, I have to really manage their nutrition from now until they are joined a second time, because not only do they have to support a pregnancy, but they need to continue growing themselves. So nutrition is vital for this class of animal. This is another section of the manual I find very useful, the cattle genetics section, particularly the guidelines on buying bulls. The next step for me will be to purchase bulls that have the desirable characteristics for fat deposition, and to try and introduce those genetics into my herd, primarily using my fat mob as the mob from which I will keep my replacement breeders. And the idea there is to then produce a full herd of high fertility breeders. So from this point forth, there are three main components of the changes that I've made to my management. The first is to change the supplementary feeding to provide nutrition at a time that is more required. When the animals have their highest energy demand, is to provide them with the greatest level of supplementary feed, and that means I'm feeding earlier now than I have in the past. My second strategy is to keep replacement heifers from cows that are known to be able to maintain their body reserves under lactation. And my third strategy is to purchase bulls that have known genetic merit for the high levels of fat deposition.